Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us again. I'm very happy to be back with Curt Soloff. Hey, Curt.
How's it going, Bajir?
It's going all right. End of summer. I hear you have an interesting hand for us.
I do. In fact, I usually have several interesting hands, but got to pick just one, right?
So, yeah, how would you set up this one? What do you have for us?
Well, we're going to focus on the play on this hand,
Okay.
and what we're going to want declares to do with this one is avoid the temptation to do something that you don't have to do. And you will find that you can actually guarantee your contract. And that's really all we're after here. We just want to make our contract. We're not worried about over tricks or anything like that.
Okay. All right. That's helpful. So, folks watching along, I haven't seen this hand. I'm in the hot seat with you. I think we got a good tip there and maybe a hint or two. Should we jump in?
Let's do it.
All right.
And I always like to try to ambush you with a hand you haven't seen before. So
while we're recording, I'm game. This is what I'm here for.
All right. Well, we're gonna have you try to make 4 spades on this hand.
Okay.
And we're gonna give you the opening lead of a club here, presumably from length in an unbid suit.
Okay.
And pretty straightforward here. I think that this is a contract that you would want to be in. 9-card spade fit, values to be there. Everything looks pretty good from that standpoint so far, right?
Yep.
All right. So we don't know what this length lead is from for sure, right? Are they leading from the king of clubs? Should we try the club finesse? Or is this lead not from the king of clubs? And if that finesse fails and we lose that club trick, do we have any concerns about making this contract?
Oh, gosh. Yeah, this already feels very familiar.
So when we're declaring a suit contract, we like to focus on losers, right? I usually say, look at winners for no trump, but look at losers for suit contracts. And of course, is there any way that you can eliminate losers?
Yeah.
So we probably want to operate under the assumption that we might have to lose a club, right? In case the king of clubs is with East.
Yeah.
And if we have to lose a club trick, then we cannot lose 3 diamond tricks.
Right.
Now the trumps look good, right? Trumps are solid.
They're great.
Got everything down through the 8 of spades. We don't have to lose any hearts with ace doubleton in the dummy and king queen third in hand.
Yeah.
We have a couple of honors in the diamond suit, but as we're going to see here a little later in the hand, that's a suit we do not want to attack ourselves if we can help it. That's a suit we don't want to touch.
Okay.
All right. So
well, the dilemma we're in, we're facing it early. Folks watching us, if you dare, leave a comment. What would you do here? Would you try finessing that queen club? Would you take the shore trick with the ace? Would you duck? Something else? Well, those are 3 options. With sitting here with you, I find that I want to, think a little bit more than probably when I'm playing on my own. When I'm playing on my own and sometimes not thinking as much as I would, I think it's a tendency of mine to go for a finesse here too often without thinking of the risks involved. Is that common? Am I thoughtless to do so? Or are there times when playing the queen here? Because if the queen wins, then we're set. We're all good.
Well, here's a good way to think of it. And look, taking finesses by and large on most hands, it's a good thing, right? A lot of times it's a no lose proposition, right? I mean, yes, you may lose the trick, but if it's a trick you are going to lose anyhow, then you go ahead and take the finesse. And, you know, in some hands, you may have no other choice, right? You may absolutely need a finesse to work. The catch on this hand is that you don't actually need the club finesse to make your spade contract. Now, let's say your diamonds were worse. Let's say you didn't have the queen of diamonds in your hand and you had 3 small diamonds.
Yeah.
Would you take the club finesse then? I hope so, because then the defense owns the ace, king, and queen of diamonds, and that's 3 sure losers, right? Now you have no choice, right? That would be a scenario where you got to put up that queen of clubs and pray, right? But the idea behind this hand is that you actually have a guaranteed line of play, but you have to refuse the finesse. I should credit, by the way, this hand actually came from Eddie Cantor, outstanding writer, passed away earlier this year, who over decades has just presented so many fantastic play problems and defense problems for bridge players everywhere, and this is one of them. So I want to be sure to give him credit for that. How'd you like to start tackling this thing? And we'll walk through the magic of guaranteeing this contract for you.
Gosh. All right. Well, I suppose, let's I don't know. Again, if I was on my own, I probably would finesse it, but what I'm getting from you is with the queen and jack of diamonds, we have to really hope that one of them can turn into a winner. But if we're too aggressive with the diamond suit, that's just not going to work. So it gets me thinking, all right, we want to, I don't know, do we win this, draw trumps to make sure we don't run into trouble there, and then send the ball back into their court and see what they give back to us?
That's pretty close to our plan for this hand. There's going to be one more step before you send that ball back into their court.
Okay.
So yeah, let's start with that. Let's go ahead and have you rise with that ace of clubs.
Okay.
And let's just assume standard carding here. So I'm going to go ahead and have East play the 8 as an encouraging signal, which would probably lead you to believe that finesse for the club was not going to work.
Okay, so let's just remember we think the king of clubs is an East hand.
All right, and as you mentioned, no reason not to get your trump drawn here. We wouldn't want any of our nice winners getting roughed. So certainly this is a hand where we can get trumps drawn. So we'll tackle that first.
Now, before even drawing trumps, trying to think which hand we might want to end up in. Although we have,
I'm glad you're thinking about that because you always want to be thinking about your transportation. It turns out on this deal, it doesn't matter where you end up. We'll just draw our trump. If they split in 2 rounds, if we need a 3rd round, that will be fine. A 4-0 break might have been a problem, but as you see, we don't have to worry about that. And pretty friendly here on the split.
All right. Great. Trumps are out.
Trumps are out. That's taken care of. So what we want to do next is have you play your heart winners. And here, of course, you will want to unblock that ace first and then come to your hand. And I should tell everybody, I'm not necessarily signaling as carefully as I might. I'm sort of playing the old rule of thumb, playing the closest card to my thumb. But I would usually try to be a little more thoughtful in defense. Now, it may seem to you on this King of Hearts winner that you don't have a particularly useful discard, but you actually do. You have too many diamonds for a diamond pitch to do you any good, right? So why don't we go ahead and jettison that 3 of clubs here?
Right, we're already going to lose our club trick. Huh. Okay.
All right. So now this has left you in a position where you only have one club in each hand, right?
Yeah.
And that's the suit you want to get out in. You are now ready to put the defense on lead.
Got it. Got it. So by pitching that club, if they lead another club, we can win it in either hand. If we hadn't pitched it, we wouldn't be able to.
Well, if you don't pitch the club and you give up a club, they can safely return a club and just make you rough.
Okay.
But what we are ultimately trying to do here is to leave the defense with no safe exit card. We are going to make East-West help you.
All right. I feel like I'm like 60% there. Folks watching, let me know where you are. Let's see where Curt takes us. So we're going to send it back to them. We know we're going to lose this.
All right. So what you have now set up is sometimes we would refer to this as stripping the hand, or you might hear the term elimination play.
Uh-huh.
You've eliminated the side suits. You've drawn your trump. You have now eliminated both the clubs and the hearts from both hands. So what does this mean for East, who is now stuck on lead here with this king of clubs? Well, either East is going to break the diamond suit for you, and that's good, or East is going to play a heart or a club, and that is going to give you a rough slough. Remember, you've only lost one trick here. You can afford to lose 2 diamonds, but you can't afford to lose 3.
Right.
If East gets out here with a heart or a club, you're going to take a pitch in the short hand, your hand there with the queen third. You're going to pitch a diamond, and you're going to rough on the dummy and simply concede 2 diamonds, right?
That's beautiful. Yeah.
All right. That would make it very easy. What if they play diamonds? Well, this is where we get into that everybody's favorite term, the frozen suit. What is a frozen suit? That quite simply, a frozen suit is whichever side breaks the suit, whichever side leads the suit first is at a disadvantage. And we said at the beginning of this hand, you didn't want to touch the diamond suit, right? And of course, what you'd be worried about if you had to play the diamond suit was if you led a diamond to the jack and it got covered by ace or king, and then you tried to lead back toward your queen and it got covered by the other top honor in the other hand, you're out of luck, right? But if the defense breaks the diamond suit, and I'm worried about giving you a rough slough, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to exit a diamond.
Okay.
All you do is play small. Play small from your hand, and now West is stuck, right?
Right.
If West plays the 10, for example, your jack is going to score, and that's going to be your 10th trick. What West, I think, is going to do instead is go ahead and grab the ace here, and the only hope is that his partner has the king and queen, right? Otherwise,
look at that.
And they set up a diamond trick for you.
Right. Beautiful.
I think you got a claimer here on this one. You have just made your 4 spades.
That's beautiful.
No finesse is necessary.
And so again, just going back to the very first decision we made, if we had tried that queen club, we would have lost that trick. Here, can you pull up?
Let's look at all 4 hands here. Let's give it the double dummy view.
Right. So they would have won that. And then we still would have had another club to lose.
Well, you wouldn't have had another club to lose since you only have a doubleton in your hand. So you would have played your ace, and you could have roughed a club. But the problem was, if you did that, is that even if you strip the hand out, you're going to be stuck playing diamonds, right?
We have no way out. No way to send it to them. No way to force them to lead the diamonds to us or one of the other suits.
Exactly.
Oh
Now,
wow.
look, this is not if you have to break the diamond suit yourself. Is this totally hopeless? No, but it tends to require both top honors being in the same hand, right? Like if West
Right.
has both ace and king, or East has both ace and king, you will survive breaking the diamond suit yourself. But when those
Right.
honors are split and the
Yeah.
probabilities say that they will be most of the time, that's a problem for you when you have to break the suit.
Mm. Well, Curt, that is a beautiful hand, and I love how you presented it to us, stepped us through the thinking. For folks watching it, if you have questions, leave them in the comments. Maybe we can get Curt to respond to some. Uh, thank you, Curt. So the frozen suit, we this is a great illustrative example of when we don't want to touch it. We want to force them to break into that suit. And in this instance, that's what ends up making all the difference.
Exactly. And that term, that fancy bridge term that you may hear people use, if they're talking about a frozen suit, that's exactly what they are referring to. This kind of situation with a suit that is undesirable for either side, the offense or the defense, to lead the suit, but somebody eventually may have to.
Thanks so much, Curt. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Till next time.